G'day everyone and welcome to episode 4 of the GiddyUp Podcast Ep4 2024. My name's JT and of course I am always joined by the, incredibly handsome and very talented man, Mr. Donnie Elkin, who just happens to be a world champion that we've got on our podcast. Donnie, welcome.
Well, I tell you what, it's a good thing I've got something going for me, JT, because tonight it is not the run sheet. I've jumped on a flight, I've had a feed, I've run in here, I was still sort of half sweating, and it is dead set. It's awesome to be here today. I tell you what, JT, we spoke about 30 seconds before we pushed go about what I'm going to rant about tonight. Apple. Just put that in, Apple. I know there's no pictures, you haven't got your chance to set it all up. I want to talk about Apple. I'm pissed about Apple. Anyway, it's going to be a lovely show.
So basically what you're saying, Donnie, is it's just going to be another show. If you've never watched the show before, what it is about is these two old blokes, me and Donnie, I'm the older one, and we just talk about a whole bunch of stuff that we think is relatively interesting.
Random shit.
We hope you guys find it interesting as well. We sometimes have a different opinion. Most of the time it's pretty similar, but it's an interactive show. So you get the opportunity to interact with us live. So if you are watching, the best way to do that is on Facebook because your comments will drop straight in, but you can also do it on YouTube. And of course, if you listen to this on a podcast and you're going for a walk around the town, because we normally publish this sort of the day after the live, you can't interact at all.
When you say we, JT,
you
do all that shit, mate. I'm gone after here. And it all falls on you and you nail it every week, mate.
You're a kind man, Donnie. Now, this show, we say it every week. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. We do have a fair bit to get through tonight, Donnie. And of course, like every other week, you've got absolutely no idea what we're talking about. You can't get into the run sheet, so I'm going to have to drive it all, but that's okay. Because I just want to go straight to, Donnie, look, I know I've got a couple of segments where I get on a little bit of a high horse. I have a crack at different people. We've got dickhead of the week, rants, all that sort of stuff, and
yes,
I try and turn the attention on things that are really annoying me, people that should be called out. And this time, Donnie, I'm going close to home.
Oh, it's not me, is it?
No, it's not you. I'm turning on our listeners, Donnie.
JT, you realise that's how we survive.
Yeah, I know, high risk, but
we really. I've got to get to more pre-production meetings if you're going to do this shit, because I think you've got it sorted. But then when you say you're about to shit can listeners, I'm worried.
Don, we did we had a bit of a chat last week about Zupa Dupers, and
yes, that's
we
fair.
Put it out to the good people, and we said, what do you think? I'm a big advocate of the raspberry, as you know. But we had some of our listeners, some of our regular listeners, of course, that chimed in and they were pumping up the fairy floss and the pineapple and all this sort of crap, Donnie. And, we just put it to we put it to the people. We actually did a poll in the GiddyUp Legends group, and I've got the results, Donnie. I want to share it with you. And
righto. Is there going to be any surprises?
Well, I don't think there's a bloody surprise at all, Donnie, but here's the results. Now, for those of you who've got a very small screen and you can't see anything, all you need to know is that raspberry got 46% of the vote. Fairy floss, which is just absolute crap, got 12%. So anyone who thinks fairy floss is better, seriously, it's not. The people have spoken.
JT, I was just talking to some very, very highly educated humans before I run in here for this, and they said cola. Cola, hands down, was... Did that even get a mention?
Well, what, you expect accuracy on the GiddyUp podcast on?
No.
Like seriously?
No,
we did. We had cola. Cola was listed. It actually came in second at 18%. So, 18%. So 46%.
When you say second, I can look into that thing and... Oh, no, that's not in order. Okay, righto, fair enough. Second.
So we need to have an education on how to read graphs, Donnie, or are you good? You good to go?
Just lined up so it's easy, can you, mate? Jeez, I've got...
You've just had a big dinner, and I was under the weather with a few painkillers last week, the week before. Did you just happen to taste the local beverages at all, Donnie, at all?
No, lemon lime bitters, mate. Keeping it fresh. Got a big day tomorrow. Big planning day. Very excited.
Big planning day. And so, where are you, Donnie? Because Paul, one of our regulars, is certainly rightly noted how good your background is looking, mate. So, whereabouts are you today?
It is the real deal, Paul. You'll be happy to know I'm in the harbour city. I'm in Sydney. I flew in. I'm literally in the city of Sydney. It's bloody fantastic. Sussex Streets, Merton Apartments, and like if you want to come around and bring a slab, feel free. But it is a lovely spot where I am. Shit traffic, geez, Sydney traffic. But anyway, anywhere in peak hour, anywhere in the world is pretty shit, so I can't really complain.
Very true.
So was in Geelong today, JT, did an event down there in Geelong at the Cattery, and must admit, it is a sublime venue. You walk into level 3, you've got this lovely big space, and then you look out over the oval. What most impressed me, JT, is I seen it on last year BT at the footy, and they have the cameras in the room, you know, where they're doing kick to kick and all that sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. That's actually a cafe window. So where we had lunch today, the beautiful first wife and I, we could look through the window where the boys warm up before they run out and play. It's bloody awesome. Very purposely built, obviously. So,
there you go. And yes. Donnie, for the people that don't sort of know what you do these days, like when you say you've got a gig and you're doing stuff, what exactly are you doing?
Yes, good question. You're not the first person to ask that. JT, I lead a team of awesome humans that provide networking events right around our great country. And this year we'll do 117 of those events. And the company I work with is called One Community, and it is service providers to the disability sector that are providing network opportunities to connect with support coordinators and the people looking for those services. The reason our events absolutely kick ass is because they're not a big expo and people walk around for the weekend trying to find a service that they're looking for, or a new wheelchair or something. Like at our events, it's speed dating. You've got 5 minutes with every table host, and then you're on to the next table. So our team of community engagement guys, the researchers, we've got a huge team that just nail. They bat well and truly above their average, and they do a bloody great job. And the reason, JT, our events work is because about 5 years ago, when the NDIS, the National Disability Insurance Scheme, kicked off, what happened is they had, prior to that, service providers around the country got money from the government and were able to run whatever services they wanted to run. The government said, well, this is no good. We want the people with the power to be the people that have the disability. So the NDIS basically flipped it on its head, put all the money in the hands of the people with disabilities and said, righto, off you go. You've got more choice and control. But the problem is many of them weren't connected. They've got support coordinators going, well, I look after 50 people. How do I find out what services are available for them? So the support coordinators, they're looking for the decent services. So they come to our event, they find an introduction to one for 5 minutes, move on to the next event. So 117 events this year around the country. If I'm in your area, bloody make sure you look out for me. I was in Campbelltown and Penrith last week, and that's where I got our local shout out from Sita, remember from last week? Bloody legend. So I didn't find a local legend in Geelong today that I'm going to give a shout out to, but never mind, I'm still on the hunt, JT.
Mate, I don't know if anyone else, if you're listening, has Donnie gone corporate or what? Like, he would never have spoken like that a year ago. You've changed, Don. You have changed.
No, mate, I'll tell you what I'm still doing is I'm still doing gigs. So which was why I love working with One Com, is because it gives me a chance to still go to schools, speaking at plenty of schools. I had Laylaw Secondary College last week, a number of years been speaking there. It was awesome. Strathcona coming up. It's awesome. So the gigs event, that's my passion, so I love that. And I'm not sure if that's more of a passion or if the GiddyUp podcast is, but either that, One Com, I love what I do. So I'm very fortunate to wake up every day, say giddy up and get cracking.
Fantastic. Well, let's get into some segments. We've got a lot to get through.
What do we got?
Bizarre news stories.
Now, Donnie, last week you brought to our attention some, you did some global travel and stumbled across, I believe it was a giraffe that had no spots.
Yes, that's right, JT. I found out in the wilderness a giraffe had no spots, did some more research and found another giraffe with no spots being born in a zoo. It's not that bloody fancy if all the giraffes are starting to be born with no spots. Like, it's sort of takes the gloss off it a little bit, don't you reckon? Like, one's cute, all of a sudden now there's a trend. Giraffes don't want the spots.
Yeah, it's not bizarre, mate, if we're bloody one in a zoo already.
piss this one off. Let's get a new one, mate. Like when you find the second one of Crash and Burn, I thought it was unique. But he'll be in therapy now, that giraffe.
Shit. Next.
You bloody mongrel!
New segment.
Classic
Donny.
Aussie JT.
Classic Aussie.
Right.
I thought
Now, this one, I'm feeling very confident that you've got something that the listeners are going to love, JT, in our Classic Aussie segment. What have you found?
Well, I just thought the idea of Classic Aussie was, because sometimes Aussies do some random shit, right? And sometimes you sort of go, wow, that's just so Aussie. And sometimes you go,
Have you been to Tokemall?
what a dickhead. No, well, not recently, no. Give a shout out.
No, well,
to
that's
those
classic
listening in
Aussie
Tokyo,
right
though, right? But, sometimes you just sort of get, have you ever just wondered stuff? You sort of go, I wonder if I did this, how long it would take, or if I wonder if I did that. And you just sort of just stream off. And some people, Don, they go, I wonder. But instead of wondering, they go, I'm going to do. So
Doers.
So we had an Aussie, and this goes back a while ago, but it's just sort of some of it coming to attention now. And he's gone, what if I typed out 1 to 1,000,000? So on his typewriter, he's literally typing 1, 2, 3, 11, 12, 100,000, 101. Literally, if I type out word by word from 1 to 1,000,000, how long do you reckon that would take? What do you reckon, Donny?
Well, I'm a fine typer, JT. I find the letter, then type it. So to take me a long time, I reckon, I don't know, 4 months. Like you'd just have a rest, come back the next day, just keep doing it.
You wouldn't want to overdo it, I suppose, because it'd be pretty tiring at the end of the day. So, well, this guy, Les Stewart, let's give him a bit of a shout out. Now, Les decided to do this way back when, and he finally reached his goal. And I've got a photo for those who are actually watching.
So he was going to 1,000,000.
Yep, so he's typing it out, literally. That's sort of what it looks like when he's just typing it all out.
Page 18,000.
Yep, and so he started his task in 1982. And it was therapy for him following an accident, and 7 manual typewriters, 100,000 ink ribbons, 19,890 pages, 16 years and 7 months later, he finished. It took him for 16 years to type it out.
And JT, what did he get for this? And was he full time?
He got the Guinness Book of Records. So he is the record holder for typing, the fastest person to type out from 1 to $1,000,000. Oh, sorry, not bucks.
Well, I tell you what, if you can, he's going to be pissed off when he finds out what AI can do now, isn't he? That shit can be done for you. What a bonehead. What's his name? Lesbian?
Yeah, Les Stewart. So
Les Stewart.
Shout out to Les Stewart. I think that's
good on you, Les. You crackpot. Was he an Aussie?
Yeah, Aussie.
Hope the only thing that would make that better, JT, is if he was on Work for the Dole when he did it.
Well, it's funny you say that. He was actually he was on Compo, and he found it was a good way of being distracted. But let's not take that away from the good stuff.
All right, okay. We'll focus on the good stuff. Good on you, Les.
Yeah,
you
we
bloody
love that.
champion.
Now, this is the part of the show that I always love, Donny, where I say, Donny, what's next on the run sheet?
And I'll say, let's go with, is it too early for dad joke, JT?
That's all you can think of, isn't it?
Oh, there's bound to be a dickhead of the week too that's going to get on your wrong side.
I think it's time to bring attention to a very serious issue that's going on.
You can't be serious!
Well, they can be serious, Donny. It's about time that, again, we have to just call out what just total bullshit is going on in this country.
Righto.
And I am going to
surely the woke thing's finished.
Oh, the woke thing is just gathering steam, I'm afraid. And it's people like us, Donny, that need to put an end to this woke crap that's going on
We'll
in
do
society.
it.
So we're just going to call out stuff that we don't like. And I'm going to give I'm throwing under the bus the Stonington City Council, Donny, because this one goes back to Christmas. But look, we live in Australia, and I don't know about you, but I don't think it's a bad thing to say Merry Christmas.
I say it all the time, JT, decorate my house like the bloody Griswolds. I go to town. Love Christmas.
Mate,
love people that celebrate Christmas. Even this happy holiday shit, nah, it's Christmas, mate. That's why you got the time off.
No.
celebrate Christmas.
No, Donny, you got it all wrong. According to the Stonington City
What's
Council, we don't want to offend people, so we just say make merry now. So their whole Christmas decorations was just make merry.
Make what merry?
No, just make merry. We don't want to offend people, Don. So
Oh, JT, they're in the reproduction game. Remember Mum, the Jesus Mum? What's her name? Meza.
Meza.
They're asking people to get on it, JT. You've misread the sign.
Ah, is that what it is it?
Well, how else do you make merry?
What the hell?
That is bullshit.
Make
This
merry.
is absolute make merry. Come on. Where's Stonington City? Who do they even look at? It's a city, another council, local council.
Some crap hole down here in Victoria. So, yeah, look, I don't even know where to start.
Did any of those signs get vandalised?
A couple had a crack.
Good.
Yeah. But unfortunately, a few survived, right? But seriously, it's just ridiculous. So the whole idea of the woke alert, if you see some woke crap that's going on in
Call that
your
shit
community in Australia,
Send it to
doing
us.
your head in, please send it in to us. Yeah, toss bags is a good description, Kim. And I've got to say, Don, one thing that is really just seems to be happening more, and I heard this morning, so this is news. There's
Fresh.
a school in Geelong. And it's just breaking news today. I haven't actually read the articles. I just heard it on Drive when I was
Top
driving
quality
around.
research, JT.
Yeah, correct. And it's a school, a rather posh school, boarding school in Geelong. And they had a boy who
Yes.
decided to he's decided he's now a girl.
Okay,
And
that happens all the time.
It happens
now.
all
It's
the
not
time,
new.
but wants to board in the girls' boarding house.
Oh,
And therefore have
JT.
showers with the girls, have everything, and the school has allowed it because
that's okay. So he'll be having periods with the girls as well. He'll be doing all the girl stuff, will he? Get the cramps in the lead up, get emotional. No disrespect, ladies. But JT, I've got 3 daughters, and if that's just complete frog shit. At some point, people have got to pull their kids out of that school. That school only survives, obviously, because people are paying a shitload to go there. But is anyone paying that much money? They're not paying attention to the crap that goes on? Like, that's ridiculous.
So, if you hear any woke stuff that's going on, please send it in to us. We'll have a good chat about it. We might even actually do some research for once. So, yeah, that is that. Now, of course, on today's show, we do have the wheel. It is teed up, Donny.
The wheel?
The wheel is teed up. So, I thought, because we want to reward the listeners who are already here, I thought we'd just get straight into it.
JT, right before you go to the wheel, can we do something? I had an avalanche of feedback from last week's wheel.
So, at least 2 people.
Yes, right. This is what happened, JT. We, as in you, picked the question. It was a bloody good question. Which country has the most islands, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
most people went with Indonesia and wet sort of joints.
Sweden was the
And yes, and so when Sweden got it, and there was a couple of people, there was actually 4 people got it right. And I went and said, oh yeah, that's all right. Just throw everybody on the wheel. JT, I got close to death threats last week for saying this is the first week some particular person got the answer right, and then I go and open it up and give everyone stuffed them up. So I'm telling you,
what you're saying,
JT.
Donny, is tonight they have to get it right. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that stuff you. No, I'm not. JT, this is what happens. If you get it right, you get 2 hits on the wheel. How's that?
No, too hard for me to type in. No.
Well, stiff shit, you got to get it right tonight, guys. Otherwise, you're not going on the wheel. Right. Make it an easy question, though.
All right. So the question is, now, as it always goes, you've got 40 seconds, guys, to get your answer in. So from when I hit
can't
play,
even give you a tip.
You got 40 seconds because, well, Donny, you actually mentioned it a little bit earlier, something about Apple, and I'm going to be having a chat about Apple. So it's an Apple-related trivia question.
Oh,
so
good.
here you go. 40 seconds. Get
Here
cracking.
we go.
Make sure you just type
Get your
in
typing fingers ready, kids.
A, B, C, or D. Paul's gone early with 4. I love it.
Paul's gone very early. Maybe get the question out first, Paul, you nuffer.
Bloody hell, he's got it right too. This is weird. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Oh, that's the
What
wheel.
is it? That's the wheel, JT. We've got to have the
We're not ready
question.
for the wheel. You want the question?
Wrong screen.
Here we go.
That's last week's wheel, so that's
It
got to
is.
be redone. Right, here we go.
So, FaceTime first appeared on which iPhones? We all use FaceTime these days. If you've got an Apple phone or friends with Apple phones. So, FaceTime first appeared on which iPhone? A, iPhone 4, B, iPhone 4S, C, iPhone 5, or D, iPhone 6. Clock is running. You've got about 20 seconds to go. Which iPhone first featured FaceTime?
And they've got to do what, JT? Put A, B, C, or D?
Just type in A, B, C, or D, please. A, B, C,
Righto.
or D into the comments.
You got seconds left. Only
left,
seconds.
guys. Boom. There is the answer. A is
Right.
the winner. So
Who
we
got
will
it?
do a bit of a scan of the comments and see everyone who
All
had
the
A.
A's.
And you guys will be going onto the wheel, which we will be spinning a little bit later in the show, along with Dad Joke and a few other regular segments as well.
Hey, JT, wonderful news. I just had a quick squiz at all the answers there. And really good. Kim got it wrong, but you're already a winner, Kim, because I still haven't sent you your vodka yet. So you're going to get a vodka anyway.
Paul's just going claiming he meant A, but you went early, Paul. I don't know. Might be stretching the friendship there a little. So anyway, that's that segment. Now, Donnie, on to our next segment. Now, I love it when you don't have the run sheet because it means I've got to actually look ahead.
What-
and go,
what have we
the
got,
hell am I talking
JT?
about? Well, I think it's time for a bit of a powwow, Donnie. You
Right.
ready? You ready?
Yep.
Let's
Right.
do it.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Oh, I am going to tread very carefully here, Donnie. Very, very carefully.
Always
because-
worries me when I don't know what we're going to rumble about.
Well, to
which
be
is
fair,
every week.
you have represented the country. You have
Right.
some friends who are Olympians, Paralympians,
A few.
etc.
Yep.
So I'm going to go hard here, and I'm going to
Righto.
say because we're coming up to the Olympics, right? Big year, Olympics. Everyone's
Big year.
excited.
Where are they this year, JT?
Oh, mate, I don't know. Somewhere in the world. Where is it, Donnie?
Paris.
Oh, in
Paris this year.
Of course, in Paris, in France. And, well, I'm just going to go out and say it, Don. I reckon swimming as a sport is just a complete waste of space. And I don't think that anyone really gives two shits about swimming, Donnie, because it's all fun and games. We watch it when we're winning, but when we're losing, does anyone really care about swimming? Because when's the last time you were out in the ocean, the ship sunk, and you go, oh, geez, I hope I can bloody get that 100-metre sprint in about 6 seconds. Said no one ever. Who gives a crap? What point is it? Now, I get running and athletics because, you know, there's a relationship there with the wild, Donnie. You know, if I'm out in the bush and a lion wants to attack me and I run, I can out-sprint it, or if someone's trying to get me and I can outrun them. But swimming, mate, what's the point, Donnie? I just think it's just a waste of time.
Righto, JT. I'll have to back this up a little
And
bit
and
now.
feel free to add your comments, guys, if what you think as well. Go, Donnie.
Righto, here we go. First things first, mate. We are surrounded. We are an island, Australia, big bloody island. We're surrounded by water. Majority of Aussies sweat their balls off during the summer and jump in their backyard pools for a swim, JT. We like to get wet, get cold, stay alive. So learning to swim is really, really valuable. So I absolutely think swimming is a good thing. We've got Laurie Lawrence. Now, JT, think about this. Think about where you were. 1996, Kieran Perkins, lane 8.
Great. What a
Gets
comeback
up.
win.
An Australian icon.
I was jumping
Everybody
up and down,
loved it.
excited. Great.
He flipped the nation's psyche quite simply because he won that race as an underdog. Represented this country with pride. Thorpe, the greatest swimmer of all time. Forget Phelps, but
Legend.
Thorpe, he's ours, so we love him even more.
Yep.
So Thorpe, you got Hayley Lewis. Oh, I had a crush on Hayley Lewis back in the '84 Commonwealth game or whatever it was. Seriously, JT, swimmers are vital to our country. We've got the Dolphins. You make it into the Dolphins. We need swimming. You know why we need it, JT?
No, not really. That's my whole point.
Because the rest of the world is shit at it, and that's the only way we get gold medals at the Olympics, JT. Don't take away our bloody success. What are you doing, JT?
That's my bloody point, Donnie, though. It's only good when you're winning. If we were losing, would anyone actually watch it and give a shit?
Well, we're not the world's best at gymnastics, but every 4 years the country of about 23 million, maybe 20 million because a few of them are kids, we all become couch coaches, experts. We can watch the Olympics with no training at all and tell when someone's done a perfect 10 dive or a perfect 10 routine.
Yeah, we suddenly
so
become
we
experts.
need, we all become experts, JT. It's our God-given right. I think swimming should survive. Listeners, if you think there's a space for swimming, not just for saving lives, but to be on my side instead of on JT's, I want you to write in, okay? Because we love swimming, right?
Well, one of us does, so that's very exciting. I mean, and one step further, Donnie. I mean, okay, you sort of go, all right. Well, I kind of get, you've got to get from one end to the other. That's great, but what the hell is the point of backstroke, breaststroke? What are we even doing there?
Nicole Livingston, she was a fantastic swimmer, and she did have a lot of gags in her repertoire as a speaker, and she'd often say, I spent the best part of my career on my back. And that was in the pool, so I thought that was very good. So without backstroke, everyone would have just thought she was talking about the action in the village. So no, I think there's a space for swimming, JT. It's healthy sport, and it's one that we can do it for leisure. If you're running, there's only two reasons you run, JT. Are you playing sport or running from the cops? Otherwise, you're not running.
Donnie, I'm clearly losing the vote here with our listeners, which who would have thought just quite.
Go you good things.
But I don't care. I'm staying put. Because the other thing I don't understand, Donnie, is like, if you go, all right, so we've got swimming, we've got all these different variations, but why doesn't the same apply to running then? Like, why don't we have running backwards? Why don't we have let's go sideways and see who can go sideways the quickest? Like, where's all that crap? So why does swimming do it? Okay, if you're going to take the same logic and go, all right, who can get to the fastest from A to B? Sure, freestyle, great. But then what's this crap with backstroke, breaststroke, all that, butterfly? Who the hell's ever done butterfly? Like, what's the point?
JT, you're sneaking into this bloody woke culture. You'll want a certificate for everybody for participation at this rate. Like, this is about the best of the best, JT. Or think about all those bloody, what's that? Oh, really? Have you heard of the three-legged race? I won a few three-legged races. Well, I didn't realise it was BYO. That's why I'd win them all. I just bought my own.
There we go. Leave the
so
jokes
I've sneaked
to me,
into
Donnie.
the dad jokes early.
It's all right. Leave the crap jokes to me. Right, now, Donnie, all right, I'm clearly I've lost this one, so I don't want to talk about it anymore. Get stuffed, everyone.
Thank you. Bring on your Ready to Rumbles, JT. Listeners, I love you.
That didn't go well. All right, Donnie, time for you to let rip. And this will be good because you probably don't even know what you're going to let rip about.
JT, I'm going to have a crack at... Can I talk Apple now?
No.
Because this is fresh.
No, well, you can,
okay,
but that wasn't actually the planned segment. But you do.
Right, here, okay, I'll talk about this one. I'm going to talk about the AFL. Now, I was in Geelong at the Cattery today, and a couple of weeks ago, my kids got stuck in me and said, Dad, you're a former athlete. I said, well, thanks for reminding me about the former bit. But what's your point? And they said, well, Dad, your weight's important. I said, well, yeah, I kept a few nutritionists in a job because of that. They said, can you believe professional athletes are going to have their weight withheld because they're concerned about fat shaming? The AFL is confirmed about fat shaming when someone's put on a couple of kilos, and I'm just going, you're shitting me. At some point, these guys are professional athletes, get paid a ridiculous amount of coin to be athletes. Athletes, the last I looked, was all about the rig. Yeah, okay, you've got to have it going on between the years and you've got to do a bit of other stuff. But the truth is, your body bloody matters. You're putting it on the line, and everything about you, almost everything, it's out there. It's out there for the people. You are public property. So suck it up. If you don't like being fat shamed, lose the weight, AFL players, because that should be a part of the whole culture in footy. We critique them when they do something wrong, but as an athlete, mate, get your shit together, AFL. Stop bloody protecting people and wrapping them up like they're valuable and they're delicate. They're athletes. Suck it up. I reckon. Get on with it. Publish their weights.
Wow. All right. Well,
Bloody
interesting to see what everyone else thinks, Donnie. Because I mean, does it really matter what they weigh? I mean, at the end of the day, they're footy players. I care that they can mark the ball, kick it through the goals. run, bounce, usual stuff. What difference does it make whether they're 90 kilos or 95 kilos? Who cares?
I tell you who cares is the young kids that are looking at that and they're going, okay, they're my role models. What do I need to weigh if I'm going to be an AFL player? I'm a little skinny runt. Can I play AFL? No, why not? Because you're not big and strong enough. Okay, well, I've got to be big and strong. What weight's that? Oh, we can't tell you. It's a secret because we don't want to fat shame someone. So, seriously, it's part of the game. Their weight, they're professional players. Mate. If you don't like it, the players go and get another job.
But is it the players objecting? Was it coming because I'm sure you would have done truckloads of research on this. Was it the Players Association that were the ones that objecting, or is it the AFL just trying to be woke and going, we're going to help society and not make things about weight?
With the extensive research I've done, JT, I listened to my kids saying, "Dad, this is bullshit." I said, "Right, well, let's talk about it then, right?" So I said, I reckon 10-1 it is the AFL trying to be woke and make everything amazing. But let's be honest, if the Players Association wanted it, they'd get it. They're very, very powerful, JT. And if they wanted it, they'd say, nah, we're not copping that AFL. They'd stand up for it. So I reckon, you know what, it's no big deal. Whack it out there. It's a bit like, we know everything about the athlete. We know their paycheck. We know their bloody Instagram accounts, the BT's in their face with the microphone. How'd you feel about that? Is that your girlfriend? Is that your mum? We find out everything. If an athlete's an athlete, why don't you just put it out there what they're doing?
There you go. Donnie has spoken. Share your thoughts in the comments, whether you're watching this now or later. We'll be very interested in what you think. Now, Donnie, last week you came out with a very big announcement on the show. And it was massive.
Yes.
And
yes, I did.
I know you're probably thinking, what the hell was it that I spoke about? But way back when, Donnie, a couple of years ago, when we last did GiddyUp Podcast, we had a very, very popular segment. And look, it wasn't a dad joke. That is a popular segment, but...
Hey, JT, your story, I still get people stopping me in the street saying...
The adoption story, yeah.
The adoption story. Most people hate your guts because you hung them on every single week. We're going to have to relive that at some point because, not the hang on bit, but you actually telling your story. It is an incredible story. It actually gave us 3 seasons of the podcast, that story alone.
Stretched out a while, didn't we? But,
yes, I talked about Ching Ching, JT.
You did?
Us making coin for you, the listeners. Guess who's back?
G'day guys, it's the Money Whisperer here, and I'm delighted to be a regular guest of the GiddyUp podcast again for 2024. This year I'll be covering all things money, including investments, property, home loan finance, cryptos, stocks, tax, financial health checks, and so much more. But today I want to talk about getting your kids interested in investment. And I've come across a wonderful new app called Drip Invest, which is a startup from Perth. Have no affiliation with it, but I've downloaded it in the last month. And my daughter, who has previously had zero interest in the investment space, is suddenly checking on her portfolio every day. The great thing about it is you can start with as little as $5 and you can invest in really small amounts without the fees that you'd normally cop doing that. So the kids can choose between investing in Australian stocks, in Europe, Asia, USA, tech companies, green energy, cryptos, and so much more. And it allows them to learn the importance of diversification and the compound growth you get from investing. As I said, my daughter previously had no interest. She's now checking in on a daily basis and trying to work out ways she can get more money into her wallet so she can invest further. Is that from work, birthday money, chores, all sorts of things. So by all means, check it out. Drip Invest is the name of the app, and I'll see you guys next week. Cheers.
Boom.
JT, could you imagine the Money Whisperer? How proud a dad moment it would be for him when his daughter comes in with the app and she's bloody looking to invest, mate. What he doesn't know about investing in crypto and shares and shit. He's our man. He would have been salivating when his daughter said, "Dad, I've just bought these shares." But I'll tell you what, I'm bloody excited. Drip Invest.
Drip Invest. So, if you've got kids and you want to get them into investing, and let's face it, a lot of our listeners are at that age. And if you are, some of the younger guys, and we do have some younger kids that are watching this show, and hopefully you're enjoying it. So, check it out, Drip Invest. You might actually enjoy it and get yourself...
Absolutely.
And
they can win that, but they're not allowed to win the vodka.
Ooh, they're definitely not allowed in
On the wheel.
And I've got to say, speaking of proud parent moments, as everyone knows, or not everyone knows, that I got onto the crypto game, way back when in the last boom, and did okay, and then lost it all, of course, because that's crypto. But I've finally got my daughter into it, so she's now opened up her crypto portfolio, and she's only put a little amount in, but she's in the game, and she checks her portfolio, and she's researching her coins and stuff, and I think, good on you. So, because honestly, we are going to a digital currency, whether we like it or not. So, I think to start to understand crypto, and it's not just about coins and money, it's around blockchain and how it's going to change the world. We might save that for another episode, but yeah, absolutely. Drip invest if you're sort of looking at getting your kids into interested in money, which is not easy to get kids interested in bloody anything these days.
No, that's sensational, mate. I like it. I like it a lot. I'll be having a little bit of a squeeze at that myself.
All right. Now, Donnie,
what have we got, JT?
Well, you mentioned Apple, Donnie, because I want to talk about Apple, but I'm going to let you go first because I maybe have a good news story, and I'm tipping you may not.
Oh, good. Good. Well, let's go with mine first because this is not good. I reckon Apple, a few years back, they got busted for sending out dodgy shit. And coincidentally, they were sending this out just in the lead up, JT, to the launch of their new phone. So your phone would start having some bugs and shit, right? They went to court. There was a bit of a slap on the wrist for Apple. But JT, recently, just before I opened up this latest update, my phone was bloody good, real good. No dramas at all. JT, I update, and now my battery goes flat while it's on the charge. Apple up to their old tricks. I think they're doing it again, JT, and I'm not happy. Not happy, Jan.
Donnie,
Apple.
Funny you say that because I have noticed exactly the same thing, and reading the forums, we are not alone. So I think something in their last update has caused a few issues. So I have no doubt they'll have a patch going out soon. But yeah.
Hey, just while we're on it, JT, before we throw to your good news story about Apple. The last upgrade, one thing that was really cool is that you could put your photo. So if let's say I've got a photo of you, which is not so flattering, JT. So every time you ring me, I see your not so flattering photo that I took, right?
And I'd have a little giggle. When you're calling me now, your whole face comes up on my phone, like full screen.
Correct, correct. So make sure you, as the phone owner, does the update. One of my colleagues that I work with, her daughter did the photo and she's got the big tongue out, and so she's ringing like work people, business, and then her daughter's face is there with the big tongue out, doing that one. So people that don't know her are seeing this look on their face. So that pops up on everybody's phone, by the way, when you ring them. So the key is go into your contacts, scroll right up to the top, and your card will be there, and then you can go in there and make sure your photo is the one that you want in there, and your kids haven't done it for you. You can pick it. So don't do dick pics and stuff because it'll pop up on someone's screen, like literally.
Idea. Not a good idea.
No.
Geek of the Week.
Well, Donnie, you touched on Apple and obviously a few issues with the last update. But look, they've been at the cutting edge of technology. You and I are both old enough to remember when the iPhone first came out, transformed the world, right? It literally did it was a game, the old cliche game changer, but it really was, right?
It did.
And well, they just had the launch of the apparent next game changer. And I'm talking about, of course, the Apple Vision Pro. And it was just released. Now, I know what you're thinking. I want one. Of course you do, Donnie. And well, the good news is, Donnie, they're actually a bit of a bargain because Apple stuff can often be a little bit expensive.
This won't be if it's new.
No, it's just new and it's all fandangled technology and stuff. But it just comes in at $3,499 for an Apple Vision Pro, Donnie.
And what does it do, JT?
Are you down? Oh, sorry, that's US.
Okay, let's sort of get less
at
glossy.
the moment,
what does it do, JT?
The only way you can get it in Australia is Kogan actually got some supplies. It is currently selling for $6,349 if you want the Apple Vision Pro. But yeah, what does it do is an excellent question, Donnie. Well, let's just have this is what it looks like. If anyone's going, gee, what does it actually look like? I mean, you can hardly notice it. I mean, it's very...
no, it's very subtle.
Yeah, it's subtle. That's the word I was looking for. You literally can hardly see it. So what it is, well, what you and I would probably have said is virtual reality, but they're moving away
Yeah.
from that. They're not calling it virtual reality. They're now calling it spatial computing. So that's the new word that you're going to start hearing a lot of, spatial computing. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, basically, a spatial computer is something that blends digital content and apps into your physical space and lets you navigate using your eyes, your hands, and your voice. So you pop this on, and I'll just give you an example here. I'm just going to pop this up on the screen and show you something that might look relatively familiar. This is the home screen of the Apple Vision Pro. So when you first put it on, it's a little bit like your iPhone. You're seeing the apps, the usual apps, Apple apps that are there.
Yeah.
But instead of like what you do on your phone, you sort of scroll through and you tap and you do all that stuff. This is in front of you. You are seeing this pop up and it looks like it's there staring you in the face. And with your hands, you can reach out and tap Apple TV, for example, and start watching Apple TV directly into your Apple Vision. So it is
Holy
bringing
crap.
a physical world into, combining, the virtual world. Now, of course, it has a huge amount of other applications that are going to, again, literally change the world. One application I think a lot of people can understand is real estate. So you could put these on and literally do a virtual tour of a house. And so if you're looking at buying a house anywhere in the world, you just pop this on and you could literally walk around and see this house in a virtual space. So there are a million applications for it. There's heaps of videos online. But at $6,500 just about for Australia, I don't think anyone... I don't think a lot of people are going to be rushing out to buy one. And as a lot of people have said, I could probably just get an iPad and just strap it on my head and do just about as much with it at the moment. So
Let's see you try that next week, JT.
Yeah, maybe that's the other better. So I don't think it's something that, as I said, you're going to see everyone with soon. But give it a few years, and obviously those headsets are going to come thinner. The software is going to become a lot more powerful, and it is going to start integrating into everyday life. So yeah, it's early days yet, just like it was with the iPhone when it first came out. But it's certainly tech to look out for.
Well, JT, I tell you what, I always think about close to home when I hear your geeky stuff, because although for a lot of people it'll be well and truly priced out, but if you're somebody that relies on your eyes to be able to, do everything, make all your decisions, something like that could be amazing. So I'm sure the disability sector would take a closer look at that. There'll be some fantastic opportunities to give people opportunities they otherwise wouldn't have. So can see it being a winner, but $6.5, that's probably not in the Elgin house anytime soon.
It's a little bit steep, isn't it?
Especially if it's like when you first showed that, it was like a pair of goggles, and we had a Paralympic opening ceremony party at my house a few years back, about 4, and we got some goggles just like that, and I spray painted them, and that was what the person, when they spun the wheel, that's what they had to wear for the night. So everybody got a disability when they got to the house, and so that's what it reminded me of. But Apple might have just bloody ripped me off, the bastards.
Yeah, that's right. Look for the court case, Don. Take them on, mate. I'm sure you'll get it up. All right, so look, there's a number of things still to go. We've also got the wheel spin. We've got dad joke. What else have we got, Donnie?
Oh, it can't be much, mate. We're ripping into our time. Remember we said we're going to go 30 minutes, 40 minutes?
Early, I know. So, Don, I need to load up the wheel, so I'm going to throw you
load up the wheel.
to crap on about whatever you want.
Well, I'll tell you what, let me crap on. I will not crap on. Let me give it to you straight. I just talked about the disability sector. One of the most amazing pieces of technology I've seen so far, and it's come at one of our events called Ready, Set, Connect, Innovate. Cracking event. We have people that have created these assistive technologies, and they come along, and there was a seal there that talks. It's a comfort seal, so people with high anxiety and stress and that sort of stuff can hold on to this seal. It will talk to them. They can talk to it, and it will like have a whole lot of emotions that it shows as well. It was pretty awesome. But the one I really love so far is, I've gone a bit deaf in the left ear, but there's a pair of glasses, and they're just normal glasses, not like those bloody virtual things that JT just showed you. And they've got a little hearing aid piece in the side, and they've got facial recognition in them. And so what happens, somebody with a vision impairment will walk in the room, and people with vision impairments typically will spend the first maybe 30 seconds of a conversation trying to work out who they're talking to if somebody hasn't come up and said, "Oh, g'day, Russ, it's Don here." They've got to remember the sound of their voice and that type of stuff. So for somebody with a vision impairment to be able to talk to somebody, and then the camera will recognise their face. When they come back, the camera will have facial recognition and it will announce it in their ear, and they'll say, "Oh, JT is approaching." So how good would that technology be? Like something affordable for the average punter and a true game changer for somebody with a vision impairment, but also the elderly. You think about people like, what's that? Fucking the one where we lose our memory. I'm not taking the piss, by the way. I've actually Alzheimer's. That's it. And so that sort of stuff. So being able to have a little voice in your ear that actually helps you through your day. I love what technology is doing for the world.
It is certainly doing a lot, Donny, and completely unrelated. But do you know what this is, Don?
That's a wallet, JT. That's a wallet.
So a news story just came out today for anyone who still owns a wallet. I guess probably the guys, but for the women,
Guilty.
if you've got a purse, I guess you would be calling it. So apparently, Donny, the Gen Zers, those young bloody punks of the world, if you got
Going
one of
to
these,
schools with chicks. Yep.
you're officially old.
Is that it?
Yep.
That's
If you have a wallet,
not your birth certificate. Just anyone who carries a wallet.
if you got an wallet, you're clearly old. Yep. So.
Hey, one of the younger whippersnappers that I work with, every time we go to a club that's got pokies and shit, you got to sign in, right? Mm-hmm. And I just grab out my license out of my wallet, and she's got this Fandango bloody electric license, and every single time she's gone to use it, hasn't worked. Uh-huh. So up yours, Gen Z. It's not all cute all the time.
Exactly right. So maybe us old folks know a few things still, right? But
we're going okay.
All right. Rumour has
right, how'd that wheel go, mate?
The wheel's there. We've got a dad joke coming up first, though.
Dad joke of the week.
Don't know how we go last week, Tony. I can't even remember what it was, but I'm sure it was a good joke. But again, I just want to give context. It's a dad joke, people.
Right, yeah.
Just making that very clear.
So you don't even have to laugh. It's probably not going to be funny.
It's like, all right. So here we go, Johnny. Let me set the scene. Now, James is walking downtown, down the street one day, and he happens to just run into his old school friend, Harry, a little way ahead. And he goes, "Hey, Harry, how you going, mate?" Greets his old buddy after getting his attention. And Harry's like, "Oh, mate, not good. And James is like, "Well, what happened?" And Harry's like, "Oh, mate, I just went bankrupt. And I've still got to feed my family. Mate, I don't even know what I'm going to do." And James is just like, "Oh, could have been worse, mate. Could have been worse." Okay. A month or so later, James again runs into Harry in a restaurant. And of course he goes, "Mate, how's things?" And Harry's like, "Oh, mate, terrible. Bloody, mate, our house burnt down last night." Horrible, right? And James is like, "Mate, well, could have been worse." Just goes off about his business.
Yeah.
Okay, geez. Well, as luck would have it, a month later, James runs into Harry a third time. And of course he goes, "Mate, how's it going?" And Harry's like, he hasn't had a good run, Harry, has he? He's like, "Oh, mate, things just get worse and worse." Because it's just been one tragedy after another. And he said, "I've lost my job, my house is burnt down, now my wife's left me." And of course Harry just nods his head, gives his usual optimistic little smile and just goes, "Well, could have been worse." But this time, Harry's just had enough. He just grabs James by the shoulder and goes, "Hang on a minute. I'm not going to let you off so easy this time, mate. 3 times in the past few months we've run into each other, and every time I've told you the latest disaster in my life, and every time you just say the same thing. Oh, could have been worse. So for God's sake, Harry, I want you to tell me, how in heaven's name could it have been any bloody worse?" This is the bit where, the punchlines come on, Donny. And James just looks at Harry with the same little wisp of a smile and says, "Oh, could have been worse. Could happen to me."
JT, that's a dad joke. Hey, I want to know, did James and Harry change roles during that joke? Or were they always...
It's highly
No, that's okay. No, you're welcome. If anyone else thought the same as I did, and maybe they didn't, they probably had the same role. But that could have been worse, that's right. Like I would say the same thing to you, JT.
Could have been worse. Could have been you.
Yes.
We've
No,
got
I
been
like
there.
it. It's good.
All right, now
Very
Donny,
good.
let's have a spin of this wheel. Now, of course, the wheel spin's pretty exciting. We've got, according to my incredibly complex calculations,
Oh,
Donny,
not a lot of
5 people, Donny, got the
5 people got it right.
5 people got it right. So, Donny, can you just remind the people that are watching, what are they
Yes.
going to win?
Well, first things first, let me apologise to all you losers. I did offer to have you on the wheel, and Jay said it'd be too much to bloody type everything up. So bad luck. I would have had you on there, and this lot I would have had on twice. Anyway, they get a beautiful little bottle, JT, handmade, made with love, of my vodka, Spank vodka, and it's any flavoured. Pete B, he's had a go. I'm surprised he was sober enough to actually pick this, because he's been sending me pics every day of him having a little sipple, and he's enjoyed that. So Kim, she's going to win tonight anyway. So everybody else, it's on this wheel. One of them will be a winner of a little 375ml bottle of some bloody yummy vodka.
Good luck, guys. Here we go.
Dun, 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 dun. Where is it going to be, JT? Oh,
Peter has just.
where
put
did
it
that
up.
go?
Bang.
Peter B. Oh, I'll tell you what, Remy B is going to be one pissed off unit, because she got on, missed out. Oh no, I'm going to hear about that for a
Probably
while.
are going to
Anyway,
you are going to hear about it. Now, before we go, Donny, I do want to just have one little segment, and I just want to bring something
What is
to people's attentions.
JT's Pick of the Week.
Well, I'm going to go hard, and this is going to hurt me, because I'm going to go Facebook.
righto.
Now, we need Facebook. We really need it.
We
right?
do,
Because we
yeah,
stream
yeah.
our show, but I'm having to go. Because I just want people to understand what happens with Facebook. So I'm actually going to share some stuff from the GiddyUp podcast.
Righto. Okay.
And this is a
What are you
post
sharing?
that we did. It
That's
was
us.
the Dickhead of the Week that we did last week. Just a little trim. We tagged the Animal Justice Party, Jacinta Rallo and RSPCA. We went hard. This was about the duck shooting that we spoke about. Now, when we post that to our page, we have about, I think at the moment, 200 something people that are following the page. And well, that got an impression of 28. So what that means is, of the 200 and something people that follow our page, only 28 people got to see that post in the whole of Facebook. So needless
Why
to
is that?
say, it didn't get very far. So this is what Facebook are doing, and the same happens in the group. So we've got about 700 odd people that are in the GiddyUp podcast group, and if you recall, we did the Zuper Duper survey as an example.
Yes,
we showed that
we did.
before. Now that only got shown to around just over 200 people. So we've got 700 people who said, "Yeah, we like the GiddyUp podcast. We want to join the private group," and yet Facebook only showed that poll to 200 people. So Facebook are throttling stuff and making it very, very difficult to get content out there. And so the thing for everyone to understand is, it's not just about the GiddyUp podcast. If you like other pages, you like other groups, etc., you're not necessarily always going to see their content. Now, what can you do as a listener? And if you want to help us out, the key thing to do is just make sure when you do see a post is just like it, comment, share it on your network, etc., because they're signals to Facebook that, oh, that post was interesting. Because if they put something out, they do like a little test bit. They put it out, if they present it to about 10 people, if it gets no likes, no comments, no nothing, Facebook go, well, bugger that, no one gives a crap. I'm not going to show it to anyone else. So that's how sort of the Facebook algorithms work. So whether it's for your own just social media and you're browsing, or whether you own a business and you're going, wow, this is bloody hard work, that's what's happening in the background. So as a business owner, the key thing to do is consistency, get posting, make sure we respond and comment and like any other comments on our post. But of course, for people on the other side, if you interact with the page or, with our group, etc., it gets to more people, and ultimately we get more people to watch the show, and that's how things grow. So just wanted to make everyone aware of how it all works.
JT, and it's a bloody good thing you did that. I spoke to a bloke during the week. He sent me a Snapchat. We converse a lot on Snapchat. I love Snapchat. And he said, mate, can you go and like my page or start a new business? I said, you know what? Pop the link in your Snapchat and make it easy for people to get to it. And he said, oh, what a great advice. He goes, I'm a carpenter, mate. I haven't got, I'm not tech savvy with all this shit. And I said, listen, on Wednesday night, JT will share some stuff. And boom, you've just done that. We love doing the show. We do it for everyone who hopefully listens and gets a bit of a giggle or something out of it. But most of you have got your own journeys and you're doing your own thing. So if we can share something that's we've learned along the way or is good for you, hence the Money Whisperer. Like, he makes no coin out of us at all to do that. He does that for the same reason. Same the Big Cat beer company when they were sponsoring us. People get on board because we're like-minded here. So if we can share, we absolutely will. If you've got some tips that we should share, let us know. And thanks, JT. I love how you're making lives better.
There we go. Thanks, mate. So that's it for the show for this week. It's been a crack of 56 minutes, Donny, for the slow shows. We tend to get longer and longer. But thanks
Glad
for
I did my
watching.
research.
Genuinely love you tuning in. And of course, I've got to say, if you're listening on the podcast, we still love you guys too. So, Donny, over to you as per usual for our big
So a big moment is a Giddy up.
See you guys.
Did I get it? See ya.